get started, welcome to Mastering Sales with Brent Gove. I'm your host, and I'm so excited to share with you some tips and tricks, tips and
Hey,
tricks that
Rod,
can
thanks
help
for your
you
message.
be
I
more
learned
successful.
yesterday, and I want to make
Somebody's
this.
mic is hot. David Mills, your mic is hot. I don't think that was you. Rob got it. Okay, great. So start over. Welcome to Mastering Sales with Brent Gove. Got a great lineup for you today. Let's go. Number one, have you ever had buyers get to the home inspection, freak out, want another deal? It used to happen to me quite a bit. I'm like, okay, how do I manage those emotions? How do I manage the process? So what I did was I prepared them. Look, you're paying a home inspector to be positive and praise the home and do a sales job and snow you and have you buy the house? Or are you paying the home inspector to check the plumbing, the electrical, the roof, the windows, the tile, the caulking, the foundation of the house, the structure of the house? What is it you're paying the home inspector for? What's your motive? Yeah. I mean, you want to have them find. So you're not paying them to be negative, but you're paying them to find the problems. And so do you want them to just tell you about a few, or do you want them to really give a thorough inspection to understand clearly what you're paying $500,000 for, $1 million for, $5 million for? Which is it you want? Oh, I want them. I go, guess what? My home inspectors, we have boom, boom, boom. They're the best in the business, and they are going to tear any home you ever bring them to the ground. We're talking brand new builds, new construction. They're going to find things. So the first thing I want you to know is when they're done inspecting the home, doesn't matter what home, you're not going to want to buy it. It's going to scare you. The truth is, they're usually a bunch of handyman items, but I have had serious items like entire new $80,000 roofs that need to be replaced that we didn't know about. I've had air conditioning systems that were bad that cost $25,000 that we did not know about. We've had 18 bad windows in a home out of 40, 18 were bad. And so we want him to look at everything and give you a thorough synopsis of the house. I'm just telling you right now, when he's done, doesn't matter what home we find, it's going to scare you a little bit, and you probably won't want to buy the house. And so, are you ready? And they're like, yeah. And I go, okay, because you don't want a snow job. You want the honest truth. Yes, I do. Good. And then when I call them and I go, how'd it go? They're like, it's great. It's great. It wasn't nearly as bad as you said. There's only like 40 things he found. Did you get what I just said? There's only 60 items he found. It wasn't as bad as you said it was. I tell them how bad it's going to be, and they every single time say, no. It was good. I mean, yeah, there's 12 bad windows, but they're like 200-300 a piece or whatever, 400. It's like 3,000-4,000. It was fine. It was on a good foundation. The roof was good. Air conditioning was good. You scared me with that one. I prepare them for it to be so bad. I throw a bucket of cold water on them. They're like, and it doesn't matter what house, you could do new construction. They're going to find my guy, my gal, so good. And they always, hey, so how'd it go? Awesome. Well, and I hope you picked up on this. Aren't you at the home inspection? Worst place I could be is at the home inspection. Worst place you could be. Well, the listing agent's requiring it. Well, the listing agent ain't your mommy. The listing agent ain't your daddy. I just say, I can't make it. We can cancel the home inspection, or you can have your seller let him in, or I could send my assistant or someone to go let him in. I can't make it. Something's come up. They don't get to boss you around. Well, you have to be there. I ain't going to be there. I guess we're canceling, and we'll reschedule the home inspection for next week. Do they want to wait a week? Call their bluff. This is a game of poker. You do not want to be at the home inspection. They're going to drag you over. What do you think of this? What do you think about that? Now your liability is going. You said it was fine, because you will tend to downplay it. You probably will. I'm never there. And they go, well, let's see, Robert Warner, unmute yourself. Robert wasn't expecting me to do this to him, but I'm going to do it to him. Robert, say, hey, Brent. There you go. Say, hey, Brent, really want you there. I'm just so nervous. Please, I need you there. Say that to me. We're role playing.
Brent, you gotta be there, man. I need you there.
Yeah, I will come, but here's what's going to happen if I come. The home inspector is going to be worried they're too negative, telling you actually what's wrong with the home. And I've noticed when I show up, they tend to sugarcoat everything, and they'll downplay things. And then you're going to end up buying an asset, buying something that you didn't quite realize, because trust me, agents fire home inspectors all the time. Like, you were too negative. You were too negative. This is your moment, Robert, to talk freely with the home inspector. If I'm there, I promise you, He's not going to look at you and just flat lay it out. I tell my home inspector, I want you to lay it out with Robert, be as real as you can. He's spending $250,000 on this condo. He's spending $500,000 on the starter home. He's spending $1 million on this move up home, or $3 million on this vacation home. And if I'm there, I'll come if you want. It's a disservice to you. Do you really want me there, Robert?
Brett, this is a $20 million home.
No,
in
Robert, they
Montecito that
know.
was built
Stop
in
it. We're stopping. We're
1928.
done. No. We're done. Every time he kept going, they don't do that. They go, well, no, I didn't think about it that way. Yeah, no, I don't want you there. So you let the listing agent force you to be there, and you let your client force you to be there. Guess what I'm doing now for 2-3 hours? I'm showing property and putting another one in escrow. You're sitting around like a sucker, sorry, because you let the listing agent boss you, and you have to be there, that mean listing agent. Yeah. I'll be there. I call my morning if something's come up. I can't be there. I go, we got to cancel, or you got to let the seller's got to let them in, or you can go sit there all day. I don't say that to them. I go, we'll reschedule for next week. Well, we don't want that. I go, well, then would you like me to I get one of my partners to go let him in, but man, but my home inspector, he's done 100 home inspections for me. Well, my sellers are uncomfortable with that. I guess you got to go sit there for 5 hours. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you do that? Heck yes. My time is way too valuable to sit around at a home inspection for 5 hours. And then I get it. Then your buyer again is going to want to get you to be there. And I say that. And by the way, that's the truth. That is the truth. If you're standing there, look at that home inspector, the home inspector is not going to speak freely with your client. He's going to be worried you'll never use him again on a home inspection. And when I prepared my client, I go, how'd it go? It's awesome. I mean, the foundation's sagging on the left, but we can deal with that. I mean, it's hilarious. So if you don't prepare them emotionally and mentally for the home, how bad it's going to be, doesn't matter what home, it's going to be bad. Okay. These guys are pros. They're going to give you 100 things on this house. Brent, it was only 37. Whereas they'll go, man, there's 37 things wrong in there: caulking, a cracked tile, a loose fence board, a broken fence post that had some dry rot. It's all a bunch of BS, but they're like, oh, there's 17 items, notable 17 items. And I've lost so many deals. I've had them say, you got to pay for all. I'm out if you don't have all 17 dealt with. And so I throw so much cold water on them, bucket of ice water, that they tell me why this is fine. We want the house. It wasn't nearly as bad. So was that helpful? That's how I approach it. I've been able to sell 5,000 homes doing that. Number two, another huge mistake people make is not going to title, to the signing. I made this mistake myself for years. I just didn't want to go. I hate going to escrow and titles, sitting there while they're signing docs, signing 200 pages of docs. And this was like, give me an ice pick. So, but it's a really great way to get referrals, and you can do other things while you're there. Hey, I'm here if you need me. This is your moment with the escrow company. But if there's a problem, but here's something that will save your bacon. You got to listen. I don't care what you're doing. You need to listen to me right now. This is brilliant. You call your client. Hey, David Mills. Hey, David Lawson. Hello, Karen Sweat. What are you expecting to bring in today? Like down payment and closing costs. And they will say, oh, $18,000, $48,000, $268,000. Just ask them, with your down payment, your closing costs, what are you kind of expecting to bring to title to close this transaction? Whatever number they tell you. Let's say they say $48,000 between down payment and closing costs. You call the escrow officer, not the lender. You call the escrow officer at Chicago Title, Old Republic, First American. What do you show? My client's coming in today at 1 o'clock to sign. What do you show they need to bring in for down payment closing costs? And they go $68,000. You have a $20,000 problem. If you're discovering that while you're sitting there, you are an amateur. You are not a pro. A pro calls the client, what are you expecting? Calls title and escrow. They're just the harbor of bad news. Like, no, they're usually right. It's 68 grand. My next call is not to the buyer, not to them. I go, okay, 48, 68. We get a little bit of a $20,000 issue here. Even if it's 53 and ends up being 57, that's $4,000 different. My next call is to the mortgage broker. You need to fix this because they think they're bringing 53. Title's going to ask them for 57. You get a $4,000 variance. So a lot of times they get on the phone, they're like, it's 53. We fixed it. Or they go, yeah, 20,000. And they got to fix it. And then when your client shows up, it's 48. Or the title mortgage case, no, I've been telling them it's 68. I have emails that show it's 68. Okay, you need to call them because they're expecting 48. Somehow they forgot about those emails. Somehow they forgot. I got text and email that says it's 68 and why. You need to go show it to them and say, hey, just want to make sure you guys remember, here's the email, here's the text, here's your down payment, here's your closing costs. It's 68. They go, oh, God, we convinced ourselves it was 48. They freak out when they show up and think it's 48. They get pissed. Who did what? This is an outrage. Listen to me. It is completely your fault. You're an amateur. How do you solve that? A 3-step process. Call the client. What are you expecting to bring in between down payment and closing costs? Call the title and escrow company. What is it? And then call the loan officer and say, freaking fix it now. And then they'll get in there. Got the 3-step process for saving yourself a lot of pain. Really important you be there for that last hour signing. I'm sorry, you need to be there. Finally, close of escrow. You close, you meet them at the home. I made this mistake. I would say, Frank Crandall, congratulations, we closed. It's Friday night. I can't meet you at the house. I don't have time to give you a key. I'd be like, I hid the key to the front door in the backyard under a rock by the fountain. I gotta admit, I've done it 100 times. I've sold a lot of real estate. It was wrong. I should have had my assistant go. I should have been there. Sometimes you can't be there because you're going to Tahoe. You're going to the coast. You're going houseboating. I get that, but send somebody. This is a celebration. Balloons, flowers, bottle of wine, special coffee they don't drink, special big thing of coffees and banana breads. This is your celebration moment, and you're not seeing it. So I did switch later in my career. This is the champagne bottle, the chocolate covered strawberry moment. This is pictures, selfies. Congratulations. This is hug. This is the hug moment, and you're not there. You missing the handing of the keys. Get it on video. Get it on video. We're opening the door for the first time. Pick her up. Carry her across the threshold. Make it exciting and fun. And what are you doing? Hiding the key in the backyard like a boof. And I did it. I've done it so many times. It was wrong. Because I was always like, how do I sell 30 homes in 30 days? I don't know why I'm this way. I just am. And so I had to learn to slow down in certain areas. I don't know. But was that helpful today? That's my sales mastery from B. Gove, knocked out over 5,000 homes. My pain, your gain. Love you all. Have an awesome day. We'll see you. Bye-bye.